Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we fully explored Emir. We were able to travel there. We talked to everybody and they're very, very happy about us being in command of the Courageous for some bizarre reason. And now we are in Legram and we're going to be exploring Legram further. But first, you know, very important business. Also statues of the Eisenritter. It's foggy again.
This spot looks perfect for fishing.
Yeah, there's a lot of fishing spots. What do you mean, zero? But, okay. I mean, I guess. I think I might have finally seen the Viscount. At least, that's who everyone says I saw. He was super cool. Karno and Julian both really look up to him. I can see why. That Viscount was the coolest. He was even guarding one of the princes too, which makes him even cooler. Man, Lord Arcade is so darn cool. I'm gonna be just like him when I grow up. And you can take that to the bank. Just watch me. Lord Arcade stopped by, and you know what he did? He gave me a pat on the head! It's a sign that I'm gonna be just like him when I grow up. I know it! That was the Radiant Blade Master, head of the Arcade School. I can't believe he's been fighting right under the bad guys' noses all this time. He's way too cool. I want to be big and strong like him someday too. No, forget someday. I want to be like him right now. Yeah, like him right now. Hit pat people all the time. All the time. Hi, Miles. You got some quests? Hey there, Miles. You're looking sharp. Why, hello, Sarah. I truly was blown away by how well you fought those enforcers near Brayheart. Your skills as a bracer are as fantastic as ever, I see. Don't give me that knowing smile like you were right there. Also, former bracer, thank you very much. So you know all about what we've been up to since we left. Ah, but of course. You're traveling around on the Courageous, gathering information at the moment, I believe. As a member of the guild, I'll be happy to do what I can to help, so don't you hesitate to call on me. Thanks. Well, seeing as he was kind enough to offer, anything you want to ask, Rean? I guess, have you heard anything interesting lately? Interesting. Well, how about this? As I'm sure you can imagine, the Noble Alliance have wrested control of all the country's major towns and cities. But lately there have been a number of people who have started forming small resistance groups and opposing them. I'm looking for those guys. Resistance groups? You don't mean... Supposedly they've been standing up to the army's tyranny and supporting those who are being oppressed. And while this is just my instincts talking, I can't help but wonder whether they might be people you know. That definitely could be. You wouldn't happen to know where any of those people were, would you? Well, considering they've gone this long without being caught, I'd say they're moving from place to place. Your best chance of running into them might be to explore relatively quiet highways. That makes sense. Thank you, Miles. Let's file that nugget away at the back of our minds. Meaning I'm gonna have to walk along all of the highways. Cool. Toval and a few other familiar faces dropped by not long ago, so I heard about how things are going from them. I'll keep acting as the guild's control tower in Erebonia from here on out. I'm convinced all of us share a common goal, so let's do all that we can to push things in the right direction. Right. It's times like these when your weirdly accurate perceptiveness really comes in handy. We'll be counting on you. I'm honored. I'll have to be sure to deliver then, won't I? I wouldn't want to let the famous purple lightning down. All the 3 bracers in the Bracer Guild network in Erebonia. Keep that in mind, please do. Have you heard? Lord Arcade came back to Legram. He didn't stay for long, sadly. But being able to see him again in person and hearing he is doing well is more than I could ever have hoped for. Hopes that he knows he has nothing to worry about. We'll all throw our weight behind protecting Legram in his absence. God, that's an awful voice. Lord Arcade was accompanied by Toval and Prince Oliver during this visit. I wish he could have stayed for a while longer, but just being able to see him again was a blessing in and of itself. The citizens of Legrem have a duty to keep the town safe so that he won't have a thing to worry about. Man, my German accent is really, oh, good lord, I can't hear it myself. And I'm not forced to listen to it. Okay. Only one person. This is a terrible war, but history tells us that the War of the Lions was even worse. There was no justice in that war. Even the knights who had sworn to protect the country began to plunder it. It might have gotten even worse if Prince Drykos hadn't stepped in and turned things around. The more I think about it, the more Prince Olivert has in common with Prince Drykos. I wonder if he'll be able to follow in his ancestors' footsteps and bring this war to an end. Prince Olivert reminds me very strongly of Prince Drykos. I wonder if he'll be the one to bring this war to an end. We don't have a Celine with us to be chatting him up. I guess I need to take Emma along if I want to have Celine for dialogue as well. We were so relieved to see Lord Arsaid safe and sound. Life may be more difficult here now than it was, but we'll get by. Lord Arsaid is out there fighting for us, the mists have dissipated somewhat, and above all, I'm here with my family. As long as I have them, I can get through anything life throws at me. So I heard Lord Arsaid entrusted you with the courageous, did he? Since it's the property of the Imperial family, the Alliance will have to carefully weigh how they act towards it. It ought to prove a powerful asset to your cause. It seems Lord Arsaid thought so. So, put it to good use. Now that I think about it, I should probably have taken Laura with me, because she gets special dialogue out of many of these people. I will actually quickly head back. I can adjust party on the bottom. I'm gonna skip that event. Organize party. Instead of Marcus, I'm gonna quickly take... Ah, no, the Patri event is in Legram. Confirm. And choose destination, Legram.
Leave it to me.
Just to have her with us when I talk to the fan club. I can't imagine you haven't already heard the wonderful news, but Lord Arsaid has returned. That's not to say I feared for his safety for even a second, however. He's simply too capable a man to ever be defeated. His finer points extend beyond strength too. He's a man who values peace above all else, and strives to protect the weak. Strong of body and noble of mind, that's our Lord Arsaid. We can't laze about here with our hands at our sides with Lord Arsaid out there fighting for us. We need to make sure we work to keep the town thriving during his absence. Do you have anything cool? I didn't have any of those. Good that I checked. Toval's gone off with Lord Arsaid to fight for peace. I'm sure Lord Arsaid needs all the help he can get too. The situation in the west gets more and more dire every day. Toval's a very capable man, so I'm sure his assistance will be a great asset. I wish I could go help him myself, but I suppose I'll have to run my shop as well as possible to show my support. Wish I could go to aid Lord Arsaid. Need more wind quartz. I want another evasion. I want this. This is real good. Confuse wouldn't hurt. The whole town is so much happier knowing that Lord Arsaid is safe and well. It really makes me want to knuckle down and get some serious work done. The harder we all work, the less he has to worry about Legram while he's away. The harder we are work, the less Lord Arsate has to worry about while he's away. Time to really put my back into it. Surprised to see Maria working here, she decided to start helping us out. I tried to tell her it was unnecessary, but she was very insistent, so I ended up giving her the go-ahead. She's really been a big help, though. With all of the people stopping here as they flee from the combat in the west, more hands on deck come in handy. As much as I appreciate Maria's assistance, I really don't want her to push herself to help. She's just as much of a victim of this war as anyone. Life can't be easy for her right now. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Apricos. I've decided to start helping out here as a way to pay the people of Legrand back for all of the kindness they've shown us. I still have a lot to learn about this job, but practice makes perfect. I'm a little worried about that boy over there. I believe he said his name was Cargo. He told me he's been separated from someone, and he seems so worried about them. I wish there was something I could do to help, but I wouldn't even know how to begin. I can't believe we're really halfway through December. Ordinarily, I'd be sipping champagne and rubbing elbows at a lavish party right about now. Yet here I am. Why can't I wake up from this endless nightmare? Poor Lena. At least she's not around right now. There's no way this can be real. It must be a nightmare. It just has to be. Ugh, that damnable Dukian. I dismissed him as little more than a pompous idiot with a hideous sense of fashion, but he was simply playing us for fools the whole time. Now he has those Zoldarts and that battleship. Ugh! If Chancellor Osborne was still alive, things would be playing out differently right now. Very differently indeed. Where's Lena? Lena! I can only take so much of my parents at any given time, so I thought I'd come up here and read a book or something. Which seemed like a great idea until I realized this is the only book I own and I've read it like 20 times. Maybe I'll go for a walk or something. We did come to Legrand to sightsee after all, when we first came here forever ago. I've got nothing better to do, so I might as well head out for a walk. Sure beats sitting around in here, and it really beats sitting with Mom and Dad. Can you at least give me that book? That's sure to be a Gambler Jack book. Are you the one character who's not willing to give me their book? Wow. I could give you like a newspaper in return, you know? Lord Orsay took off on a liner for the Sutherland province just as soon as he arrived. He's supposedly westward bound from there. If he were anyone else, I'd be worried about a strategy like that, but not Lord Orsay. He's going to be perfectly fine. By the time he returns, he's bound to have a myriad of other achievements to his name. I've no doubt about that. I would say I hope Lord Orsay will go and do us proud, but I know he will. It was about, like, I thought he was gonna praise him some more. I wanted to scratch my back, so I put the controller away. Oh, okay, what do you got, Cargo? Patri! You're Cargo, right? Maki's friend? I know you put in a request for help, but what are you doing all the way out here in Legrand? Did something happen? What do you think happened? A bunch of noble soldiers came busting into the Oz district. That got us real salty, so we gave them some of the old babang kapow. But then they got mad at us and turned the tables. They wouldn't give up either, but then Patri, damn it. If I parsed that correctly, it sounds like he really needs our help with something. And I guess Patri's in trouble? Allow me to translate. The patrolling soldiers' arrogance irritated him and Patri greatly. In response, they tried setting traps for them using boxes and drum cans in an effort to drive them away. Naturally, this did not go according to plan, as anyone with half a brain would expect. Machias, the hell are you doing here? I don't need a dork like you to help me sort this out. I can do just fine on my own. Of course. I can tell from the tears streaming down your face that you're off to a flying start. Magius, I have no idea how you turned what he just said into what you just said, but I'm impressed. I wasn't aware that you spoke delinquent. Unfortunately for me, I've had to put up with the two of them for a long time now. You pick some things up after a while. I'm fairly sure I know how the rest of this story goes too. When the traps failed to have their intended effect, the soldiers gave chase. As they ran, Cargo and Patry lost sight of one another, which led to their current quandary. Yeah, that's right. We were running from him, but then Patry told me to go on ahead. We were supposed to meet up here, but she still hasn't shown. Patry! Well, at least we finally gotten to the bottom of what happened. Could this mean that soldiers did capture her after all? It wouldn't be a surprise with how heavily guarded the capital is. I'd save your concern. Those two always defy expectations. Don't take a word they say at face value. What's that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean, Magius? Cargo, we should make a few things clear. You two definitely specified Legram as the town to meet up in, correct? That's what I said, didn't I? I mean, we were kind of panicking at the time with the soldiers chasing us and all. But Patry took out a map and pointed right at the part where Legram is. She said we were meeting at a tiny little place in the boonies where no soldiers would ever even care to find us. Maybe you shouldn't talk about the town like that, right in front of all of its residents. Well, he isn't wrong, technically, and speaking as a resident, I don't find such an ant description offensive. Still, if they were using a map, how could there be any mistake? They're both Erebonians, so it's not likely they'd end up in different towns. One more question, Cargo. Were you both on the same side of the map when you were doing this, or were you on opposite sides, facing one another? Huh? What kind of difference does that make? It's a map. It's got north, south, west, and east on it. I mean, it's a map. Yeah, we were facing each other, so what? Have you worked something out, Marcus? I think so. When they agreed on their destination, one of them was looking at the map upside down. I doubt she ever even mentioned Legram. She probably pointed to the part of the map and said, yeah. They probably didn't even realize how much of a misunderstanding it would cause. Interesting. Very impressive. I won't even ask if your deductive reasoning is the result of pure logic, or past trauma. Good, you're the last person I need on my back when I'm dealing with these two. Still, if that's the case, then Patry's gone off to an entirely different town. We should look for a town that fits her description and is on the opposite side of the capital from Legram. Good thing we have the courageous. Okay, we're off to find Patry. Any objections, Cargo? Did you work something out? What are you wasting time here for then? If you find her, let me know right away. You better promise. We will. Just stay away from me. You're getting snot everywhere. Badass in danger! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Last time I saw Patry was in front of Heimdall Station. She told me she was going to distract the soldiers so I could run. And then she pulled out a map and told me to meet her in a tiny town in the boonies in this part of the country. But she definitely pointed at Legram. I'm sure she did. Anyway, if you find her, promise me you'll let me know. I mean it. Well, Legram's on the south side of Erebonia, so if they were looking at the map from opposite sides, we should probably start looking for her in the north. Place out in the boonies. Sounds like the description of a mirror. Vivi, you still crying around in here? Are you putting on a nun's habit now? No, you're not. Nice flowers. Oh, you're back. Hey again, Vivi. No updates on Linda's whereabouts since we saw you last, huh? Not yet, at least. I've prayed for her to be okay more times than I can count. I even started watering the plants here for extra Ideo's brownie points. And they're still not doing very well. I'm useless. Both as a gardening club member and as a human being, but I guess it's always been like this. I'm only ever able to do anything because I've got Linde, and now that I don't... I was going to invite her to join the Courageous' crew, but asking her now might do more harm than good. Maybe Fee could cheer her up. She's not exactly a ray of sunshine, but they're in the same club, so she still might help. What do you mean Fee's not a ray of sunshine? You're an asshole, Rean. Father Hamilcar actually sat down and talked with Vivi for a while the other day. Not only did he get her to calm down, he's even got her helping out around the church. For all the slagging he does, he can be pretty incredible when the situation demands it, but it's kind of irritating that he was able to do what I couldn't just like that. I wish I knew exactly what he did to calm Vivi down. I tried so hard to cheer her up too. Then he just waltzes on in and makes it look easy. He's got all the makings of an excellent priest. I just wish he'd put his skills to work more often. Good to see Vivi's calmer now, at least. What do you mean, what did I do to get her that way? I did what I always do, nothing. All I did was listen to her. Sadness eats away at you people like a disease if you just let it build up. I just let her vent and get some of her worries off her chest. Now that she's done that, she's feeling loads better. That's not a guarantee that I won't build up again, though, so hurry up and find that sister first for her, will ya? I'm sure I will. Okay. Quick switch. Adjust party. Bye, Laura. Hi, Fee. Return to the Courageous, change the party, and returned again. Yeah, that happened. I was so tired of just sitting around sulking all the time that I thought I'd try helping out here at the church, which, of course, I've been completely useless at. What a surprise. I could only ever do anything because I had Linde with me, and now she's gone. This isn't you. Fee! You're the kind of person who loves causing trouble and pulling pranks on everyone. Like Edel, me, Linde, even Rean sometimes. You skip classes and even your club meetings, pretended to be Linde to embarrass her and anyone who gets involved. But in the end, you always leave everyone with a smile on their face. Works with the flowers too. They always look so happy when you take care of them. So sitting here alone, praying for someone to solve your problems for you, isn't you? Nobody would be able to stop Vivi if the Vivi I know from running out and finding Linde herself. Fee's right. And as it so happens, we're flying the Courageous all over Erebonia now. I can't guarantee you'll find her, but if you come with us, there's a chance you'll hear something about where she might be. So, what do you say? Are you willing to lend us a hand? You guys? Of course I will. I don't know what's gotten into me lately. But if anyone should go out there and hunt her down, it's gotta be me. Sisters need to look out for each other, right? Bingo. Welcome to the team, Vivi. Thanks. You're awfully lucky. It's not every day Erebonia's loveliest lady joins a ragtag band of adventurers like you. Say that again. Vivi was welcomed aboard the Courageous. Nice work, Fee. How's Hamilcar feeling about that part? Vivi's heading off with you kids, huh? I figured it was bound to happen sooner or later. Can't say I'm super comfortable with young ladies like her and Laura being ferried off into war zones. I mean, they can take care of themselves, but keep an eye out for them, okay? Don't drag them into the line of fire any more than you have to, you got me? Only so much, like usually only Fee. Oh, there you are. Please take care of Vivi for me. I wish I'd been able to cheer her up while she was here, but I don't think anything short of reuniting with her with her sister could lift her spirits. I'll be here praying every day that she finds her. Please do everything in your power to help her achieve that. Alright, next up is Casper, so we're definitely gonna need Laura again. Just party. A quick switch, only an hour. It takes only an hour to do the switch. You're still staring at those swords? Oh, hey guys. Nice to see you finally managed to find all of your class 7 buddies in the end, Rean. Thanks, I'm pretty happy about that too. How have things been on your end? Still doing alright? So far, so good. I'd like to think I'm making myself useful here in the training hall, doing whatever I can. Not that that's much, though. I'm basically just taking care of weapon maintenance and importing more when necessary. Allow me to thank you on behalf of everyone here. There's little more helpful than a properly maintained blade. Speaking of helping out, actually, Rean told Casper that they were looking for fellow Thor students to fight with them aboard the Courageous. Me? On the Courageous? Oh, well, I'd love to, but... Hey, quick question. Could you use the Courageous to fly over to the west? I mean, theoretically, sure. We could use it to fly anywhere. That's not part of the area we're responsible for, though. We were told to focus all of our efforts on the east side of Erebonia. Meanwhile, Prince Olivert and Viscount Orsate are more than capable of handling the west. Even if we could go, there's a very real risk we'd get caught up in something and shot down. Not my idea of a good time. Yeah, that makes sense. I just figured I might be able to go and see how my family was doing over there, that's all. That stands to reason. I forgot that you came from the town near the shore over there. I can hardly blame you for being worried. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm sorry, but I'm staying here in Legram for now. I'm hoping I'll get the chance to head over there and check on them myself. Alright, that makes sense. I wonder if we can find out for ourselves whether they're safe or not. I haven't read the latest Imperial Chronicle yet. Seems like a long shot, but maybe there's something in there. It's worth a look at least. That's interesting. Issue 3. Breaking! The Pentagram tours the nation. Noble Alliance's flagship, the Pentagram, will reportedly be making a tour of the nation in order to help quell the fear that has been building across the Empire during these fragile times. I can't help but feel fortunate that citizens all across Erebonia will be given the chance to bear witness to its majesty, as well as how even in the midst of war, the Noble Alliance has taken the right to care for the well-being of those caught up in it. A step towards ending the war, it's possible that the Pentagruel's tour may play a vital part in bringing the war to a conclusion. The Noble Alliance has been in a hurry to end it, making it a distinct possibility that this latest development may have another purpose beyond finally giving our fellow Erebonian countrymen reason to celebrate. One noble from the Lamare province certainly thinks so, telling us such a tour is sure to raise morale among the Alliance's troops. It wouldn't be at all surprising if it resulted in accelerated victories across the country. Will the Imperial family be on board? A small number of reports have been suggesting that in addition to Noble Alliance Supreme Commander Duke Rean and Chief of Staff Lord Rufus Albrea, members of the Imperial family will be on board the flagship during the tour as well. All evidence has pointed towards them resting privately until now, but this may prove to be an opportunity for them to speak to and calm the men and women of the nation. Having only recently been the victims of a rebellion by their subjects, we of the Imperial Chronicle wouldn't blame the Imperial family for being disappointed in the rebels, but perhaps they may even use this chance to demonstrate their boundless love for their people and call upon the rebels to surrender. Society, the nation's economy stabilizing. The nation's economy has been in chaos for some time due to goods being unable to move freely around the country, but the Ministry of Finance has announced a gradual improvement of the situation as more regions come under the Noble Alliance's wing. They could not, however, rule out the possibility of additional wartime taxes, leading to cries of despair from certain parts of the citizenry. Another battle in the west. Western Erebonia has been a hotbed for conflict since the beginning of the war, but the Noble Alliance forces have warned that the coast of the Lamare province is likely to soon become the center of yet another large-scale battle. Upon reaching out for comment, a spokesman for the Alliance forces said, "Several rebel forces have joined together and seem to be planning to launch an attack against us. We intend to dispatch them with all of our military strength. We strongly recommend that the residents in those areas evacuate as soon as possible." A strange night appears in the west. We have received reports that the Kreuzen provincial army clashed against a mysterious large weapon resembling the Alliance's own Azure Knight. The Alliance believes it to be an inferior imitation of the Azure Knight and is increasing security while trying to pinpoint its current whereabouts. Breaking, Noble Alliance dominates in the west. Excellent news has come in from the west front, stating that the Noble Alliance was overwhelmingly victorious in their recent battle and has forced the former Imperial army to retreat significantly. This marks a landmark achievement in the Alliance's ongoing efforts to put a stop to the rebels. The Army's Press Information Center has issued a statement that half of the former Imperial Army forces in the west have been extinguished, and those that remain are on the run. Thanks to our brave souls in the west, the Empire's return to glory appears to be closer than ever. A ferocious week-long battle. The battle was started by the former Imperial Army, which amassed a force of over 300 heavily armored tanks and plunged the nearby area into chaos. The elite Le Guin and Bardia's armies set out to rout them, and at noon on December 6th, the battle finally began. It was clear from the beginning that General Le Guin and Brigadier General Bardias had the advantage, stunning both friend and foe alike with their indomitable strength. Realizing the odds were against them, the rebels tried all manner of cowardly tricks and stalling tactics to prolong the battle, leading to it dragging out for an entire week. What brought their futile resistance to an end was a pincer attack mounted by the two armies. The military press office reports that this was not originally planned, but they were able to work together in near perfect harmony, eventually doing away with those among the rebel forces. Perhaps what stands out most about their latest achievement is how little damage the two armies sustained. It's difficult not to be awed by the sheer skill demonstrated, and personally speaking, I'm eager to hear more about their magnificent exploits in the future. The Azure Knight astounds all. The Noble Alliance's elite Azure Knight also took part in the battle. Reports note its appearance in particularly difficult battles, as it deftly turned them around in the Alliance's favor. All details regarding it remain classified, but eyewitnesses suggest that its capabilities are so out of this world that it brought them to mind the great knights of Erebonian legend. With General Reguin, Brigadier General Bardias, and the Azure Knight fighting on the same side, it's plain to see the Noble Alliance's overwhelming victory as anything other than an inevitability. The end is in sight, with the battle over and 3 more cities subjugated as a result. The moment we citizens of Erebonia have been waiting for is soon approaching. The Noble Alliance's ever-decisive victory is near. Reports suggest that the battle initially began near the coast in the Lamare province, but as a result of the rebels retreating, it primarily took place farther inland. While the number of refugees unfortunately kept growing over the course of battle, the height of danger never reached any densely populated areas, and as such, civilian casualties are currently thought to be minor. That's going to be a good information for Casper. Conflict near the Twin Dragons Bridge. The lengthy conflict between the Kreutzen Provincial Army and the 4th Armored Division seems to be showing no sign of letting up. The 4th Armored Division was known as the strongest division of the former Imperial Army, but due to their continued resistance and refusal to stand down, the Provincial Army has had no choice but to label them as a rebel army, raising tensions to a new high in the area. The 3rd Armored Division is also refusing to end its unlawful occupation of Zendragate to the north, and has yet to respond to repeated requests to disarm. Between these two divisions, it's likely that a state of confusion will remain in eastern Erebonia for some time to come. Imperial government negotiation with Crossbell? There have recently been reports that say the Imperial government has reopened negotiations with Crossbell. One government source suggested Crossbell's actions were cowardly and unforgivable, but that does not preclude us from negotiating with them. The demands in these negotiations are likely to include withdrawing the state's independence declaration, dismantling the Crossbell Defense Force, and unfreezing Erebonian assets held by the International Bank of Crossbell. However, Crossbell's crimes are still fresh in the midst of Erebonia citizens, and I think I speak for everyone in praying that the government will lead the negotiations with a firm hand. Courageous' whereabouts still unknown. The Imperial family's cruiser, the Courageous, remains unseen since the outbreak of the war. Reports have suggested the airship is currently being used by a private group for an undisclosed purpose, but the Imperial family has been keen to remind the public that its current duties are in no way official, which may suggest that those aboard are guilty of no less than treason against the state. The Noble Alliance is urging any citizens with information on the ship's whereabouts to come forward. Alright. Casper, your family is unlikely to be hurt. Oh, come on. There's got to be something in there that can tell us how Casper's family is doing. Right there, this part. What brings you back here? Casper, hear me out. I know you're worried about things back home, but I think chances are good that your family's just fine. Seriously? What makes you think that? Check out the 6th and 7th page. Rean gave Casper the Imperial Chronicle. The Chronicle? I haven't read one of these in a while. I've been too busy worrying to actually... Yep, they're safe. They're safe. No way! It's actually talking about the coast! And this... It says that while the battle started near the coast, most of it took place farther inland. That's kept civilian casualties to a minimum. If we assume that this is honest reporting, I'd say it's unlikely that your home or your family were harmed. Wouldn't you agree? There's always going to be a little bit of doubt until you see them again, but it should be safe to assume they're okay. Even with the Imperial Chronicle's recent biases, they have no reason to start reporting outright lies. Oh man, thank goodness. I can't thank you guys enough for bringing this to me. I've been worried sick about everyone for so long now that this is a massive weight off my shoulders. I can see the relief in your face. Let this be a lesson to you. Always keep up with the news. Yeah, you might be onto something there. Guess I should be reading the papers now more than ever before. But at least now I don't feel quite as much of a need to get over to the west to check up on everyone. So you got me. I'll join you guys on the Courageous and help out however I can. Welcome aboard. Let's fight for our families together. You bet. Casper was welcomed aboard the Courageous. I brought some food for the students here to eat while they train. But Fritz is the only one here. What should I do? I mean, I probably shouldn't get in the way of his training, should I? Of course not. He's busy concentrating. I don't think I'm ready to be alone with him just yet. Not that that means anything, though. Oh boy. He's the Screamer. If you're looking for Gavli and Ares, they're out patrolling at the moment. We've been getting some large, peculiar monsters on the highway lately, so we need to be more alert than ever. In the meantime, I'm training. If we intend on protecting Legram in Master Arsaid's absence, we need to be strong. Our mission is to keep this town safe, so we're just trying to keep monsters away instead of trying to defeat them all. Many of the monsters on the highway are new to us, so it's hard to say for certain whether we could even slay them. All the more reason to keep training, so that all the more reason to keep training so that, should the time come, we'll all be ready to do so. He's the only one in here. And Cindy is into... I want to call him Roxas, I already forgot his name. I've heard that you're flying around Eastern Erebonia aboard the famous Courageous. That's wonderful news. I couldn't believe my ears when I found out that you'd been entrusted with it. Ever since I heard, I've been desperate to tell everyone I know, but all the people I knew already knew what I knew. I was so disappointed. I wish I could run over to the capital and tell everyone there instead. Yeah, they'd probably arrest you, big time. I've long been worried about how other people all over the country are doing, so if you're flying around, please do try to help those in need, and be sure to tell them about all the amazing things you've done in my place. So, Casper's going to be joining all of you on the Courageous, is he? I can rest easy if you're all with him. I'm sure he'll be an asset. Hopefully it won't be long before he's reunited with his family. Oh, hello, Lord Arsaid told me all about your plans going forward. He said that you will be forming a neutral faction of your own and traveling around Eastern Erebonia aboard the Courageous. That's right. Whether we truly have the strength to achieve our goals remains to be seen, however. Still, as students of Thor's, we'll stop at nothing to do just that. We'll take back our academy from the Alliance no matter what stands in our way. Whether you have the strength or not, you certainly have the spirit. Even in martial arts, raw strength alone is not everything. It is only by following just principles that one can achieve great things. And from what I can see, you certainly aren't lacking in that regard. I have faith that you'll be able to do what you set your minds to, believe in yourselves, and follow the path you've chosen. Thank you, we will try. What you intend to do won't be easy, but I have no doubts that you'll see success in due time. I shall be praying that the goddess watches over you during your travels. Pana, welcome back! Ha, guess what? Lord Arsec came and paid us a visit. He, Toval, and Prince Oliver all seemed really well, too. I kept believing they'd all be right, and I'm so glad they were. Their visit was only fleeting, but they seemed to enjoy themselves. I couldn't possibly be happier. I was so happy to see that they're all well. Prince Oliver even decided to play a tune on his lute for me all of a sudden. He's a fun one, to be sure. I kept believing, and in the end, my wish came true. So I'm so happy they're all right. Alright, we're done in Logram. So the only thing left is exploring the highway. And yeah, let's hope we're going to be able to do that. We're also going to talk to the two who are patrolling the highway. But right now we are going to be ending the episode because I need to drink something. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I'll see you next time. Until then, toodles!